All right, Kwab, let's move on to our power rankings. This is where Kwab and I give you our top 10 teams at the moment. We do this together. I give 10, he gives 10. We meet up, we talk about it, and we agree on a consensus. So this is a consensus.
Consensus,
And
kind
this
of.
is not, and also, I'm going to say this every single time. Like, this is not us like, these are the best 10 teams. Like, we had people like commenting about how low we had the Bucks or how high we had the Pelicans. And you could argue with me. You could say I'm an idiot, and my response to you is be like, "Yeah, probably." Like, this is just vibes right now. Our power rankings,
it's
just vibes.
I keep telling you, like, hey, these are our power rankings. I don't care. Let's put up. Bro, this is what you get.
But we know you like lit. But I kind of do care because it's fun. It's fun to kind of keep track of this and see how wrong we've been.
Yeah, but yeah, if you feel a certain way, let us know. We might
it'd be fun. We want to respond to the comments.
Yeah. Comment, please.
And we'll definitely debate you or have a conversation about it. But we're not for those of you who are just listening for the first time. I think we're gonna get new listeners because of the nomination. Like, guys, I promise you, like, this is not that show.
It's not. Hey, man, this disclaimer. I might put a disclaimer at the beginning of the show. It's not. It's not what you think. It's not that show, buddy.
This is not what you think. We have opinions and we feel strongly about them.
Facts.
But if they turn out to be A, wrong,
yep,
or B, irrelevant, we don't care.
Yeah, like if you're like, oh man, we proved you wrong, we'll be like, yeah, it happens. People are proven wrong every day. You learn and you live.
So if we get proven wrong, or if we have a take that we have against your take and you get proven right, throw it in our face. We will laugh at it. Fine. It'll be a good time.
It'll be great.
But if you come at it with mean energy, it'll be ignored. But make fun of us. It'd be fun. It'd be fun.
Exactly.
It'd be fun. All right, Kwab, let's do this. Coming at number 10 is the Cleveland Cavaliers. They've been playing great as of late. They did catch an L against the Milwaukee Bucks the other night, but before that, they were the hottest team in the East, along with the Knicks. They're playing without, I was going to say Moses Moody, Evan Mobley.
Evan Mobley.
Darius Garland. Mobley, Darius Garland. A lot of people thought that when those guys went out, like, oh, this is going to be tanking season and Donovan Mitchell's going to be moved at the deadline. Oh. But they've played fantastic basketball since then. I do think there's a ceiling with this team. Right now, they're the 4 seed. I think that's their ceiling. And to be honest with you, this is not because I'm a Knicks fan. This is not because I think they're better, which I do think they're better. And this is not because the Knicks beat them last year, but I think their ceiling right now, I think they're a first-round exit. But right now, to me, playing like the 10th best team in basketball. Kwab, what say you?
I agree with that. Yeah, like you said, everything you said about them playing without Evan Mobley and Darius Garland, everybody thought like, hey, they're definitely going to trade Donovan Mitchell. And it hasn't been, not a peep. It's been like, yo, we're actually going to ball out and win these games. Max Strus has been the only player, former Heat culture player that's actually played well outside of Miami. So that's stop signing Heat players, Lakers. Stop signing Heat players and thinking you're going to do for you what they did for them. Kendrick Nunn gave Vincent.
Bro, I forgot Gabe Vincent existed.
Yeah, like exactly.
Oh my gosh,
yeah, don't do it. How did you forget? He was killing y'all.
I know. I have nightmares.
Yeah,
and I forgot he existed.
He was on the list. But yeah, stop signing these. Yeah, but yeah, they're playing well. So yeah, I'm interested to see how they look when they get Mobley back and when they get Darius back, because Jared Allen has been playing at an all-star level since Mobley has been out, and we don't know what's going to look like with the 2 bigs and then the 2 guards. So I'm interested to see how it looks moving forward. But yeah, we have them at number 10.
Coming in at number 9, we have the Phoenix Suns, currently the hottest team in the league, winners of 7 straight, 8 of their last 10, 26-18. This is a team that I was high on to start the year. They did struggle out the gate. Sometimes I think people forget that, like, you just need to be healthy. Like, we don't have all our players, therefore we're inconsistent. Yeah, duh. Like, of course. You know what I mean? I think everyone, like, KD's a target. And I'm going to stand up for KD here. I think he's kind of like a piñata with NBA Twitter and a lot of NBA fans. The man is incredible. You had to know at some point this Suns team was going to turn it around. They're too talented just to kind of be 500 or kind of be subpar. To me, you know, when they're healthy, when everything's clicking, I do think they're fringe championship contenders. I don't know if I would pick them, but I could see them getting hot. You know, when you have Booker and KD on the floor, and then you have the ancillary pieces. Shout out Grayson Allen, who's been phenomenal for them this year.
Balling.
I do think this is a scary team. I think this is a team like, every year there's a team in the playoffs like, who's a team nobody wants to see? And all the national pundits like, well, I think it's the Phoenix Suns. And like they're that team, like what the Buffalo Bills are every year in the NFL. And then they flame out. But yeah, coming at number 9 is the Phoenix Suns. Kwab, your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think you wouldn't want to see them in a playoff series just because it's a lot of scoring. Even and Bradley Beal still coming back, and he's been playing well. Like you mentioned, Grayson Allen. Um, to me, it's like they still need some of the other pieces to like step up consistently for them and just play consistent basketball. But when you have the level of like superstar of KD and Booker on your team, you're gonna have a chance every night. And whenever they play, they're gonna have a chance to win. So, like you said, they could be fringe champions, or they could be out in the first round. To me, those are
Yeah.
like possibilities for that team.
All right, coming in at number 8, it's your New York Knicks.
Your New York Knicks.
Who just beat the hell out of the Denver Nuggets since we've been on air. Really, they traded for OG Anunoby. They've had victories over the T-Wolves, over the Sixers. Both of them, I was there, by the way. The one in Madison Square and the
Yes,
one
he
in Philly.
was.
Great times.
So,
And also
put that
against the
video in there if
Nuggets.
you could.
Yeah, I actually might have to post that again. Christian Winfield. Shout out to Christian Winfield. He was a guest of ours. He's now the beat writer for the Knicks for the New York Daily News. He had a video of me just starting a Let's Go Knicks chance in Philadelphia. I survived. I made it out alive.
You did.
I'm the real winner here. But my honest thoughts on the Knicks, man, I don't think they're a championship team. I do think this is kind of their ceiling, like anywhere from 6 to 8 in the power rankings for what they are right now until the trade deadline happens. A lot of Knicks fans right now, they want like a huge trade. They want a big splash like DeJounte Murray we talked about. I don't know if there's a trade out there that makes them a finals contender this year or an NBA championship contender this year. And right now, after giving up Emmanuel Quigley and RJ Barrett, you really only have like Fournier, Grimes, and like picks as your assets. And I think you have to be very careful with what you wish for as far as a trade is concerned. If you're a Knicks fan here, I do understand the need to and want to get better and to want to win a championship, but I don't think that single player is out there who's going to change your trajectory to the point where it's like, oh, we can win the title now.
Yeah.
I do think there are a lot of players who can make your team better. Like, yeah, if DeJounte Murray's on the team, of course, like the team is better. I'm not denying that. But I think you have to be very careful. That also doesn't mean I don't think you should try to make the team better. Like, I think a Malcolm Brogdon, Jordan Clarkson, could work out well, and then you kind of roll the dice and see what goes from there. Maybe you get lucky. But I don't think you should mortgage the future for this year. Like, this is not the year. Like, we're not the 1 seed or the 2 seed where it's like, hey, if we just got to beat the Celtics, we can make it. No, we got to leapfrog the Sixers, and we got to leapfrog the Celtics, and we got to leapfrog the Bucks still. Like, relax, Knicks fans. Like, we're great where we're at. Who knows? We might have a puncher's chance to win the East, maybe make some noise and do what the Heat did last year. Enjoy the ride, get better at the deadline, but let's not like give everything away.
Do you feel like in the playoffs they can beat anybody?
Anybody in the East? Yeah,
Anybody in the
I
East?
do.
Okay. So I remember
I know they beat the Nuggets, like they killed the Nuggets this year, but like I think they would have a hard time against the Nuggets. And then I honestly think they have a hard time against anybody who comes out the West. Like I think the T-Wolves will give them a problem if the T-Wolves came out the West. I think the Thunder will give them problems. But the East, for some reason, I said this last year. I was hoping they faced the Celtics because they did well against the Celtics last year. They haven't done well against them this year, but that was before OG. So, I think they have a good shot. I think they're an Eastern Conference contender, like fringe contender. Like if you're talking about contenders, they're the last team you talk about, but you got to talk about them.
Okay. I just think with the Knicks, I just think they need like good health, like any other team needs. Like I wonder how they would look if they had Mitch Robb and Isaiah Hartenstein back, and just so because the front line is kind of thin right now. I think you guys Tibbs been playing Precious Achua a little bit more.
Jericho Sims, baby. Jericho Sims, resurgence.
Yeah, he's back. So that's good, but I still feel like you need one if you can get one of the other bigs back, it would help the team greatly. My thing with the Knicks, I've told you this before, I feel like they go as well as Julius Randle goes.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Brunson. I think he's tough. He's one of the best players in the league, one of the best guards in the league. He definitely should be an all-star this year. If he's not, that's criminal. But every time I watch the Knicks, when Randle plays well and it's just consistent on both sides, they're so hard to beat. And by that I mean he's as a power forward, there's not many forwards in the league that can do everything he can do in terms of his strength,
Mm,
his size, and his skill level. And if
yeah.
he's just consistent on both sides, offense and defense, and just giving the proper effort on both sides, and also if he's moving the ball, getting downhill and sharing the ball, the Knicks are very, very hard to beat. Just because you have a lead guard that can score from all over the court, and if you have a forward that can do all that, and you have high level role players. That's what a lot of teams don't have. You have high level, high effort role players in the Dante, Josh, even OG, who bring a lot to the team. So yeah, we have them where we have them is fine. They could move up, and consistently they are playing well. They struggled against the Nets, which was amazing, but that's a whole. Hey man, we're
That
talking about your
MSG
tweet
East.
real quick. When you're talking about the Nets should relocate to Seattle because it's a failed blah
I
blah
said
blah.
no. I said they said they should relocate to Jersey first.
We
I
move
said the
back to
move to
Jersey
Brooklyn has
because
failed.
it's a failed experiment. My brother, my
It
brother,
is.
my brother. Last year,
Wow.
look, it took it like hey. Go on a rant real quick. This is keep all this in. Do not edit this out. Last
Okay.
just a year ago, and there's a tweet proving it. That's a year ago when the Nets played at MSG, and it was a bunch of Nets fans in there making loud noise because we were kicking y'all ass. It's just been a year, bro. Y'all gotta relax. I get it. Cool. You guys are winning now. It's fine. Y'all be acting like you're the Lakers and we're the Clippers. We're not. We're the freaking New Jersey Nets that
Bro,
became the Brooklyn Nets. We're
don't
not taking over New
first.
York. It's not happening. New York, the Knicks have been a staple in New York for so many years. That orange and blue is just it's recognizable everywhere. Like I see it on your sweater right now. I already know what it is. It's fine. You guys don't have to overcompensate. All this, oh my God, we took over the building. You guys should move to the Florida swamps and play. Like, yo, relax, baby. Relax. My team is struggling, and this is what I got. Like, I tweeted out, yo, as a friend, I'm asking you to delete.
I said, let me speak my truth.
So let me
Yo, and first of all,
go ahead.
you live in Jersey. You
What
started
happened?
rooting for the Nets while they were in Jersey. I thought you'd be happy that I said, "Hey, move back to Jersey."
Do you know how
I thought
hard
you'd be like,
first of
"Yes,
all,
bring them back to their roots."
even though it's hard as hell to get to a game in Brooklyn. I don't like going to games. It was hard as hell to get to a game in Jersey. I've seen some wild stuff like from the Prudential Center and the Izod Center. Just them joints were wild. Look, and when the team played in Jersey, we made the finals back to back, and they couldn't
Yeah,
sell it out. That's what people like. It was
that's
it
true.
was they couldn't sell it out. It was rough. And then
Yeah, but the vibe at the Barclays Center too in the playoffs wasn't as good either. I mean, players
when
complained about it. I mean, Christian Winfield complained to me personally. I met up with Christian Winfield after the Sixers Knicks game because, just long story short, we hung out. But like,
yeah,
he told me that like the vibe at the Barclays was ass,
I
like the
mean
whole
it
era.
it happens when the team is ass. So it happens
All
when the team.
right. Well, I didn't mean to trigger you, man. I thought it'd make you happy that I said let's go back to Jersey.
How's that making no?
And you're right. You're right. You're right. When you're winning, of course you take over the building. If the Nets win a game in Madison Square Garden, you're going to hear Brooklyn chants
You gonna hear
probably.
Brooklyn Jets.
So that's fair.
And that's not even on you. That's not. It's just I saw so many multiple tweets. Are like, oh my God, this is embarrassing. I'm like, dog. Do you know how expensive it is to pay for a game at MSG compared to paying for it at Barclays? If I'm a Knicks
True.
fan, I'm going to Barclays.
That's why I have love for the Nets. I grew up going to Nets games at the Meadowlands because like you can get them for like $5, whatever it was,
For
plus a meal
cheap,
voucher.
dirt
Me and
cheap.
my homeboy Christian, shout out to Santos,
Yes, sir.
who's basically like my second father, used to take me to Nets-Knicks games. We went to Nets-Knicks playoffs in like 91, 92, whatever it was. He used to take us to Nets games all the time because it was just cheaper to go to the Meadowlands. And you get
Facts.
like food and like it was just bad. So I have love for the Nets because I grew up going to Meadowlands and going to more Nets games than I did Knicks games, and I was from the Bronx. So I don't got any hate towards the Nets. Let's move on. This is turning into a segment that I want to turn into.
We love
Coming at number 7 is Minnesota. It's the Minnesota Timberwolves. I don't think this is so much a demotion because if we were doing shows, they could have been like 1, 2, or 3 at any given moment. We just weren't doing shows. I don't think they're playing bad. I just think that like teams like the Sixers, Clippers, Thunder, we have in front of them are just playing better right now. And I think, to me, their ceiling was kind of a little overrated when they got off to their hot start. They were really good at when they had like 5 losses. They were like 24-5 or something like that. Some crazy record. And they've kind of come back a little bit down to earth. They're 32-13. Cat going for history,
God.
messing up a game there. Chasing history, they catch an L against the Hornets.
That was crazy. That
They're a
was
team
crazy.
that it's weird because I'm going to contradict myself later on in the show when I say this, but they're just kind of a team I don't trust because I haven't really seen them do it. You know, when I made the Gobert trade, I was just kind of like, I don't know if this is going to work. And it's kind of worked out this year. Defensively, they're going to be good. But when push comes to shove, if you're asking me, I'm taking them over like the Nuggets or Clippers. No, I even like the Suns. I don't even know if you had to give me like a true serum, like I don't think I would. But gotta respect them. Gotta respect the record. Be coming at number 7. Kwab, your thoughts?
The thing about the Wolves is that defensively, like you said, you're going to be great. I think and this was evident during the game with Cat trying to get 7 points, and they still lost to the Hornets. And
Cat was playing 21 out there, yo. He
oh
was
my
playing
God,
21 by himself.
He was going for that mug. He was going for that.
He was playing 21.
He was going, but even it was evident tonight when they just played the Nets. I was watching the game. They barely won, but having Mike Conley is such a saving grace for them, because it feels like when games get close and like it gets, they just play like an immature team sometimes. That's the best word I can like. They just play as an immature team sometimes when it's like they're trying to go for the flash instead of the effective. Like when you could get an easier shot, a smart shot, or run a smart play. So when they have Conley, it makes a world of a difference for them. I think they're going to be tough in the playoffs, just because, again, like we mentioned, defensively, like
It'll be tough.
it's not even Gobert, it's having Jaden McDaniels and having Anthony Edwards, who is a really good defender when he decides to lock in. So they're going to give some teams some trouble, and they can still score sometimes to a fault, as Cat tried. But I think they should. I feel like they should be able to get out the first round, depending on matchups.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if they made the Western Conference Finals. And I said what I just said, but it wouldn't surprise me if they won the West.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a shot, but you're not putting money down on it when it comes.
Yeah, to it. I just think that their hot start kind of had people overrating them just kind of a little bit. But they're still a really freaking good team. Yeah. So they come in at number 7. Coming at number 6, we don't have to talk too much about them because we just did. The Milwaukee Bucks, new head coach Doc Rivers. They're 31-13, despite what's going on with them. I think we can just leave it at that, right, Kwab?
Yeah, that's fair. We'll see.
If you want to, this is going to be a breakout clip. So if you want to hear our thoughts on the Bucks, just go watch the full episode.
Just rewind.
Coming at number 5, it's the Philadelphia 76ers. They just caught an L against the Indiana Pacers tonight, but they've been playing really well. Joel Embiid had 70 points the other night, playing like an MVP, playing like the best player in the league, if I'm being honest with you. Tyrese Maxey has the keys in his hand, and he's driving beautifully. It's love Maxey. Very happy for Maxey. Again, that the Sixers, if you saw in the season preview episode, I don't want to talk about. I don't want to believe.
He's been hurt too many times. He doesn't want to fall in the same trap. It's fine. It's actually hilarious. I was going to ask you this about the Knicks, but you actually answered it beforehand. But do you think there's a move the Sixers can make that would kind of elevate them even more into that trajectory of like maybe coming out the East, maybe winning a championship right now?
Yeah, I think they can use a 3-and-D type player. I think a lot of teams, I mean, that's what it comes down to, right? These trade deadlines, it's always like, well, who can they use? And it's like 3-and-D, a rim protector, or someone who can create off the dribble. Like, that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And for me, I think you can say that about the Sixers for sure. But I wouldn't know specifically. It's funny because like we had a conversation off air beforehand about Quentin Grimes, who's like one of my favorite Knicks. And I think he would be fucking dope on the Sixers, but like the Knicks and Sixers aren't going to try.
Should definitely not give up Quentin Grimes to the Sixers. I don't like.
That's not happening. But like someone like that, it's
going to get rid of him. Take him to the West or something, please.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it comes down to like Embiid and Maxey. Embiid has underperformed in the playoffs as opposed to like how he performs in the regular season. But to me, I think Maxey's kind of the X factor there because you're the point guard, you're leading the team. I think the addition of Pat Bev has like installed some grit in them. If I'm being honest with you, I think Kelly Oubre's been a nice addition. So, I think they're good.
Been great
I'm not getting too excited, man. I'm not getting too excited because I've been burned by them in the past. Coming at number 4, it's the Los Angeles Clippers, man, and this is a very polarizing team from the beginning of the season. We didn't know where to have them. We got into a fight first power rankings about where we had them. Since then, James Harden has been acquired. Kwab, what do you think of this Clippers team, man? Are they contenders? Do you think 4 is where they should be?
Yeah, I think four is good. Again, with that team, it comes with like it's if everybody's healthy and the way they're playing now.
Yeah.
After they made the trade, they had what the 5-game losing streak or whatever it was, and people
Yeah,
were
and then they
like,
move Russ to the bench. And that's not me knocking Russ, but that's just like, you kind of balance things with lineups,
"Yep,
and Russ is going to be fine. But like you just couldn't play those two at the same
it
time.
would
And
have been,
then
it
once they
was,
made that
it was,
adjustment,
yeah, it was too much. It was too much.
yeah,
It's so much better now. Russ comes off the bench and he's playing. I mean, he's been playing well all season. I like even before the trade, he was playing well for them. So him off the bench is just like it's great because he comes in, brings energy. Um, Kawhi's been Kawhi. He's been playing. He's played most of the games. Paul George is playing well. Norman Powell is like been shooting the crap out the ball. I saw a stat like he's shooting like
so underrated.
70% from like the corner, from the right
He's
corner or something like it's ridiculous. And
the fact that if Philly would have got him in the trade, I would be so high on Philly right now. When they didn't get him, I was like, I don't know.
I was
I
surprised. I was surprised of,
Yeah.
like the return, but hey, like they
To me,
kept
that's the difference between me liking Philadelphia over the Clippers. And like, I'll
that
be
they're
honest
right
with you,
there.
it's Norman Powell right
Yeah,
now.
like you
Yeah.
said, the 3 and D play, like the
Yeah.
the
No, but
exemption
Norman's
role
a
player.
scorer too. Like, he can get you a bucket.
Yeah, he can get your bucket. He gets to the line too a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and their bigs like I guess when they picked up Daniel Tice when Plumlee went down, he's been great
Yeah.
for them. And now I think is Zoo down? Is Zoo hurt? I'm not sure, but
Yeah. He's been down.
yeah, it feels like they have everything on their roster right now. So you can make the
Yeah.
case they should be one of the teams that's like vying to get out the West. So we'll see.
All right. Coming in number 3, it's the OKC Thunder with a 31-13 record. Holy crap.
Go
The
Thunder.
Thunder coming in at number 3. These guys are young. I think, you have your MVP candidate and SGA. Chet has been better than advertised, in my opinion. I think he's better than I thought he'd be like this early on. Jalen Williams is a
Playing
stud.
crazy.
This team, man. I mean, they have the creator, they have the big man, they have 3 and D, they have the shooting guard, they have the bench, they have like Giddy, who's like a jack of all trades. This team is good. They're young. I mean, the only argument against them is like inexperience, which is like my least favorite argument in basketball.
Mm.
But coming at number 3 in the regular season, I think this is exactly where they should be.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna make a trade for like another piece, like in terms of size, just to give them a little bit more size because it feels like they're so small when
Yeah,
Cheddar's on the bench. Um, I think when we did our season preview, you had Dagnall as your possible coach of the
coach of
year,
the year.
and you had SGA as. Did you have him as the MVP or did you have him as the clutch
I
player?
had him as clutch player. I had him a clutch
Clutch
player.
player. Yeah, you had him a clutch player. So pretty props to you. I don't remember what I have. Don't worry about it. Nobody go check. Um, so yeah,
We won't look it up.
well, don't look it up. Don't look it up. Just look at Josh's parts. Don't look at mine. Yeah, they've been playing great. They're fun to watch. They might be a piece away with all this talent they have on the roster right now. They have all these draft assets too, just in the stash, like that they could make a move for. And they have a couple of young
Yeah.
players that are like on the bench. They're might do some work for other teams. Like nobody's talking about like Trey Mann, who's like anytime he plays, he puts up like a
Trey
20
Mann doesn't
ball.
get playing time. Trey Mann could start on some
Yes, I'm
teams,
saying he
bro.
puts up like a 20 ball. But like they have so many solid good players that like do like Isaiah Joe. First of all, Isaiah Joe was on the Sixers and would be like one of the most
Forgot about
perfect
Isaiah Joe.
players
Yeah.
to be on the Sixers because he can hit, he catches and shoots. And so yeah, I like where we have them. Yeah, they're gonna be so fun, and I can't wait for the playoffs because I feel like they're gonna be so fun in the playoffs. They're such a fun team to watch. I wonder if they're gonna make a move before the trade deadline. I feel like they should, but even if they don't, they're still gonna be competitive in the playoffs.
All right, coming at number 2, we can breeze through these because it's the same old song. Denver Nuggets. To me, record doesn't really matter. I mean, they're the champions. You know what they can do when they turn it on. I'm not saying they're coasting through the regular season, but
Yeah.
they're just kind of, you know, it's like practice. If I'm being honest with you, they're one of the teams where they know where they're going to be in the postseason and who they're going to be facing, and it's just kind of like let's just tune up. So when they lose, it's not a big deal. I'm ecstatic as a Knicks fan because of what happened tonight, but I also take it with a grain of salt, knowing that like, all right, well, it's not like the Nuggets were in playoff mode or like, maybe just calling them on a night. So to me, they're the second best team in basketball. And Kwab, you agree?
Yep, definitely agree. Yeah, they're still like of course they missed some of the bench pieces they have last year with like Bruce Brown and Jeff Green, but they're still good. Like you said, I agree with everything you said. They're still, it feels like practice, and they're gonna be they might still come out the West regardless of how they're playing right now.
Coming in at number 1, it's the Boston Celtics, 35, now 36-10 record. Maybe, I don't know, whatever. They're the best team in the league. I still have some like reservations about their late game offense because it just turns into like stand around and Jason Tatum dribbling on the perimeter or taking step back threes, or they kind of fall in love with the long jump shot and without ball movement, which is weird because they move the ball really well before that. But all in all, to me, they're the best team in the league, playing like the best team. And that is why they're number 1. Kwab, what say you?
Yeah, they're starting 5 or 6. They just all fit well, perfectly together, defensively and offensively. My biggest, like you said, and I have the same gripe or knock on them is that in a close game when it's like 10 seconds, whatever left, it just feels like, well, here comes another tough shot by Jason Tatum that's probably not going to go in.
And it doesn't have to be that way. Like, that's the thing about, like, it doesn't have to. You have Jaylen Brown who can get by anyone he wants. You have Jason Tatum who can get by anyone he wants. I mean, Derek White's having a hell of a season. KP, like, pick and pop options. Like, there's so many options offensively you have that you don't have to resort to isolation, step back three basketball. And you would think that like after 2 years of this, 3, whatever it's been, that they like, oh, okay. Like that meme of like Drake showing, I don't know who it is, but like
he's like, oh, this is the yeah.
Yes, like that. You would think they would do that by now, but they haven't. But that's my only concern with them.
Yeah, that's my only concern, which is easily fixable. It's just, and also the whole like a close game with Zula not calling timeout, then it's weird. Dude, call the fucking timeout.
You have him, Missoula. Use him.
Call the timeout. Like, get a play in there. So I get you want the defense to be caught off guard. Like, just call the timeout, brother. Like, please. Like, it's so weird, man.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode of The Dime. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. If you want, you can follow Dime on Twitter and Instagram or on TikTok at The Dime NBA. I'm Josh Rodriguez at Josh_Rodriguez_. He's Kwab at Kwab, a.k.a. Yes. If you do follow us on social media, please vote for us for Best Basketball Podcast on the Sports Podcast Awards. We're going to be back more often. We hate that we left you for that long. We missed you. I hope you missed us too. We'll catch you next week for another episode of The Dime.